Hey everyone, Marshall Consequence here. I'm going to talk about Nymue in the current raid. So this boss is all set up, um, and we're going to kind of go through how that is, and then the cycles repeat each other. So we're just going to sit at this screen for a little bit. So the first thing to note is, and I wish this was more clear, but if you go into the actual VOD, it's just green on green, and then the screen quality. But the first thing to do is to set up your groups. And you're going to have a back group, a left group, and a right group. And each of those ads need to die. If not, you will not be able to kill the boss. If you can't kill the back ad, it just auto wipes you before a cast. So each of the groups is set up here in a way where they're able to kill the ads at about the same time while not running out of time in intermission. Um, and we'll kind of talk about that composition in a second. The other thing, the top part of this note here, is the who's going to grab the boss's debuff. When the boss goes into intermission, they put a circle around themselves. If you're in that circle, you get a green under you that's safe to run through lines. So when melee are running to the back ad, sometimes they need safety. This third person didn't do it. I think it was an all range group. Um, but it's just there anyway. Yeah, it's an all range group. But um, so let's just go through things just for a little, and then we'll come back to this. So one thing to note is positioning. Now you can see here we have people on the left, people in the middle, and people on the right. This is going to correspond with the note. So this is just a note from a weak aura. You can find on Wago. Everyone can have it. And it's going to be, um, uh, sorry, the intermission is what is here. So the intermission note. So like people who are normally going left are going to be on the left ad. People who are normally going right are going to be on the right ad. So what you're going to see here is I go middle, then I go right, and then I go right. So I'm positioned on the right. Now I'm kind of positioned not far right, but like mid right, and that's just because I'm a little more mobile and I'm able to use turtle to kind of get places that other classes might be able to in a short period of time. The other thing to note is the drop locations. And let me see if I can pull something up real quick here. Um, so this is the drop locations, and the white area is what is safe, and the green area is not safe unless you're in the last like push for the boss. That anything in the back is safe. So these range players can drop here. They can drop here. Melee usually drop here, and that's just how it is. So that's kind of like why the safe areas that drop the giant circles. Um, anyway, we play this, and let's just talk about the core mechanics of the fight, just like a heroic. However, so you soak these, and they'll put a green pool around. They're going to have stun lines, and the main difference in this phase, besides everything doing more damage and being a lot more, is the stun lines come out in a harder pattern, and then you have these red circles. So I'm just being a punter here, and I know the red circle's on my side, so I'm helping them the melee clear it quickly so they can do something else. And then moving away. I don't do that a lot, but if it's right there, I will assist. So it's up for the range to take out these greens, and it's up for the melee to take out the reds. However, there can be greens, as you can see, they're in melee as well that they need to take out. One thing to note for the melee group, and this is critically important, if you're going to take away one thing from this video, this is going to be one of them. Don't soak green circles when you're soaking red circles if you can avoid it. Because the red circle has a timer, you need to be able to do that. You need to just be able to take out the red circle and then deal with the greens later. The greens just give you a stacking debuff here. But as you can see here, someone dropped the pull here, and someone dropped the pull here, which is going to be like here on the diagram. So they're both in the safe zone. Now, this is the Mythic mechanic. So what I'm doing here is I'm moving my pet over, and I've already like made my way back here, which is critically important. Because every time you cross through the matrix, it gives you a stack. I don't want to just run over like 7 lines and get in. So I've slowly moved my way over, and if I got the circle, I would have dropped it back here. But I move my way over and I go in. You can only go in once. Here comes the melee with the green. We were talking about that a bit originally. And now I'm in. So, as you can see, I saved 1 minute here. I sent 45s just off CD, but there is a damage check on this ad. It's becoming less and less with more gear. Um, Now, our composition in here is Warlock, DH, Hunter, Mage, and then a healer, HPAL. Obviously, that's going to be different for every composition. So the majority of the people doing the damage here, was probably the DH was probably doing the most, and then maybe me, but probably a mix-up. These are just frontals you have to dodge. It's just easier or projectiles, but frontal and I don't know, it just targets a player. And it's just easier just to go around the boss like this and then look at your stack. So I'm trying to keep this at 1 stack. So I know, and I just keep walking on the boss closely. You can't outrange it or anything. And then he's going to do a cast here where, let's see if it even shows. Nope, but he does a cast there, Waking, Decimation, where it starts casting and it goes off. He'll wipe the group. And now we're done, and I'm looking for anything to soak, just to lower the raid damage, and I'm a hunter, so I'm able to hit this guy a little. But we take out anything, like they're taking out this right here, and now we're just going to group under the boss and burn it. One thing to note here is we have our range pre-spread at about 2 seconds, because these lines are become active instantly, and it's just better to not take the extra damage. So we pre-spread, and then we just take less damage. And then it repeats. So the lines are going to be harder. The matrix is in a different configuration. And that's really the boss. So as you can see here, I keep soaking. The more people you have in the soaks, the faster they go, FYI. So everyone needs to be involved. Everyone needs to soak. It doesn't really matter if your class is just a hard standstill sitting class. You just have to get in. It just makes the fight easier. Keep getting in. And like sometimes you can RNG them poorly. Like we have a lot on right now, and they had like 1 over there, but it could be vice versa. I'm probably just gonna turtle, right? So like this is why hunters are really good. So I'm just gonna turtle, run through, and then go back. So I'm just making a play here to get rid of this one. If not, this would have been up for like an extra like 10 to 15 seconds. And we keep taking him out. See how we're dropping the green over there. And now we're going to have the ad. I'm moving my pet over again. And here the boss is going to do a frontal. Realistically, I should be standing like here trying to bait the frontal as well as this person. So it went on us, arguably. So we could have just been standing like here and it had been way safer. But regardless, the boss is going to occasionally put these swirls on the ground near us. It's always targeting your player, so making sure these are taken out is really important. So we're trying to take these out before we move on, but sometimes you do have to stay behind. So there's like 1 here. We take it out and we move on. That group's doing the same thing, and we come in. And our second group here seemed to be a DK using their CDs. That's a DPS shaman and a healing shaman, I think, a rogue and a warrior. But you have to look at the replay to confirm. It's a little blurry. But you just take a look and look what CDs they're using to make sure they die. And again, it repeats itself. And then the last group, I go right again. But the last group wants to get in there and then just second pot and cool down if they have it and kill that ad. And then you're going to come out and you're going to finish the boss. So let's get some takeaways. 1, always soak. 2, drop the soaks like this. Very good. 3, you want to make a diagram. Like this is just like where we're positioned the sign. Some things were slightly altered throughout the night, but this is probably fine. Healers are kind of spread around be able to hit everyone as well. Also, now in the meta, it's 5 heal. Not really possible when we did it week 1, but now a lot of groups are 5 healing. It just makes it completely safe. It allows you to mess up more, and you have the damage that kill the ads with the gear. And then set up your groups. Use the weak aura if you want, but set up your groups to make sure you kill the ads efficiently, and you need to kill that back ad no matter what. So making sure people are holding their CDs and configuring a potential spreadsheet to help them. could be useful. Other than that, that's this boss. So everything, at the end of the fight here, um, you can keep going for a minute, but like you see, like the next intermission is quite a while away. We're actually gonna fall apart here because I think a few people got stunned and the soaks just got out of control. But this is the first time we killed the ad. But if you can get past that third intermission, you're just killing the boss, more likely than not. So that's all I got for this boss, and next two are coming out extremely quickly. Hopefully this helped. I'm out. Peace.